Welcome, everybody. We're starting a podcast at Miami Springs High School. We have Director Nicholas Acosta with us and a few of his students. So we're going to go around the room and just introduce everyone, and then we have some good questions for Nick Acosta. We want to share all this information with teachers, students, and schools across the state of Florida. So we'll start with Director Nicholas Acosta, if you want to give a few words and introduce yourself.
Sure. All right. My name is Nick Acosta. I got 10 years of aviation logistics experience. I worked for companies like Atlas Air, Miami Air, and started this great program, Miami Springs Senior High School. I'm also an alumni, so we started this great partnership with Embry-Riddle, and it's going great so far. The kids love the program. Done a lot of field trips already. A lot of great experiences for them. So happy to be a part of this. Happy to give back to my old high school and bring back that rich aviation history that Miami Springs is known for.
My name is Lucas, student at Miami Springs Senior High.
My name is Abdel Diaz.
My name is Bruno Diaz.
Jose Zuniga.
Valentina Castrillo.
Vontasia Smith.
And I'm Professor Gustavo Junco from Embry-Riddle, and I'm the South Florida Regional Manager looking over the programs down here. So we'll start the questions. Who's the first one up?
I got a question. What's one of the biggest challenges for students joining the aviation program today?
I think it's just awareness. We got to just get the word out there. Once people are aware of it, they find that they've always wanted to. They've always been interested in something like that. And sometimes the good thing too is it's something that they didn't know that they were interested in until they actually get into the program and they experience. You have the simulators, you have the field trips. You have these great guest speakers coming in to talking to you guys. So. I think that's just getting the awareness, getting the message out. But it's our first year, so we're going to start off getting the word out. We're going to go to different magnet fairs and things like that. So that'll be, we'll overcome that challenge.
What are the most rewarding aspects of being a high school aviation director?
Just being able to, make a difference. I think that's what it's all about. I don't do this job certainly not for the salary. I do this job just to help you guys and help you guys reach those goals. Like for example, Valentina wants to be a pilot. Someday she'll be a captain at American or something like that. That'll be super cool when she's like, and on vacation she's flying the plane. Or like I don't know, like Jose, like he's gonna run his own business someday, or the same thing with Vontasia. It's just seeing that in the future, like looking into it 10, 20 years in the future, and then they're like. They'll be on the speaker and they'll be like, my teacher's on board, I started this program because of that. So that's pretty cool. That's really it. It's just making the difference. That's the most important thing to me is really the way, so.
And for Gustavo Junco, how on the Embry-Riddle side of it and on the college side of it, what's the challenge in getting high schools to be with the to get with the curriculum of a college course and to raise their standards to that level, especially a college like Embry-Riddle?
So in the state of Florida, I think that the biggest challenge is every region and school is different. So if you're looking at 50 different schools, every school is different and their culture is different. So how do we get that Embry-Riddle culture to fit into each school's culture and make it flow? So we want to keep the standards here, but some schools are at different levels. So we have to kind of meet their needs and make it work for them in terms of teacher skill, in terms of socioeconomics, and kind of adapting to different situations.
Can you explain what was the process of getting into this with Miami Springs and how long it took?
It took a while.
Yeah. Process.
Yeah.
That's
So
for sure.
it was a year of meetings, and really it was Mr. Acosta's energy that made it happen. So his networking skills with the district, with Embry-Riddle, is being an alumni of the high school and being an Embry-Riddle alumni helped a lot. So it moved the process forward. Without him, it wouldn't happen. So I give him all the credit.
Yeah, no, it's really a team effort. I'll kind of give you the backstory. So really this was Mr. Gonzalez's idea to start an aviation program in general, and then I took it to Embry-Riddle and I said, as soon as he said those words, like I want to start an aviation program in Miami Springs, I was like, Embry-Riddle, I was like, perfect. Like that was a perfect partnership. I thought immediately of their Gaetz Aerospace Institute and the fact that they partner with different high schools, and that program's grown tremendously. It's been 10 years, 15 years.
It's up there, yeah. And just the person that linked us I want to give him credit. Drew
Oh,
Nicholson was
absolutely.
a classmate of his
Mhm.
at
Yeah.
Embry-Riddle, so he's the one that kind of linked the.
Let's
Oh, yeah.
get back to that. You graduated from Embry-Riddle, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Back in 2014.
Oh.
So Embry-Riddle worldwide, and you know, I knew Drew, great guy, Drew Nicholson. Shout out to Drew. He made this happen. I didn't know Gustavo personally, you know, but he knows both, and that goes back to what I tell you guys all the time about networking. Like, it makes all the difference in the world. Everybody knows somebody, so you always want to make sure you cultivate those relationships. It's extremely important. Look at the great things that can happen as a result. So.
I have a question. I'm gonna jump in there. So Nick's Mr. Acosta's expertise is marketing programs. So we wanted to highlight what makes you different to the other high schools. What do you excel at? I know you're on social media, recording, making reels. A lot of teachers don't even know what a reel is. So maybe you can kind of chime in on its effectiveness, its impact on the community, and what you do.
Yeah, I think you know, you gotta sell it. You gotta sell everything. You know, you gotta sell the program all the time. The way I look at this program and any high school program, it's like a football team. You're always recruiting. You know, these kids are gonna graduate. They're gonna move on. They're gonna go into their careers. But you gotta get that next group in. You know, and a good group in. So marketing is everything. Social media is everything. Extremely important. Relationships. But you know, going back to what your question specifically about reels. You know, I got the idea actually from Ms. Perez, which is our activities director and dance teacher. She's the one that actually got me into that. We're neighbors, so she taught me how to do it. You know, basically the strategy that I use to record these reels is, you know, pretend like if you're recording for someone who isn't there. So that way, like whenever we go on field trips, that's why I'm always taking like little videos and then we piece it together and using the Instagram software. It's nothing fancy, you know. And the idea is to give the perspective to someone who couldn't be there that particular day. Maybe they were sick. Like imagine you guys all went to the tower on on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So imagine, you know, if one of you guys were sick, you couldn't be there, you know. But then now you can watch the video, you know, and be like, oh, it's like I was there and I was able to experience that, you know. So that's kind of the idea. Is just to put the person who wasn't there and to be able to see it, to get that perspective. And I think videos are more powerful than just pictures. You know, it gives a better context and all that. So I think it's just extremely powerful medium.
Like,
to use.
A powerful thing in marketing is like obviously getting your name out there, and what I see that he's really good at, like from a student perspective, he's good at finding the student for the class. He knows which student would be good for the drone program or the pilot program, or even on the other side, the logistics program. He knows what student is good for what, and he doesn't push on a certain student like, oh, you have to do this program. This is the program. This is the best program we have. He tailors it to that student. You know, like in life, everyone is different, and he makes everyone feel welcome and everyone wanna, you know, like I've heard a lot of students say, no, I only come to school because I want to take a closest class, or a closest class makes me want to come. Like on my other class, I don't like him, but a closest class, like he makes me want to do it, in the sense where he's telling you like, this is the future. Like this is not English, math, or science. Like most of our sciences, we may never use that again. We might, but we may never use it again in our lives. Because it's like what you learn here, if you stick with it, you can have a job in this and you'll use this every day for the rest of your life. In both of his classes, in the aerospace and in the logistics. And he connects us with so many interesting people that help us out in so many ways that he's always trying to help out. So that also.
I would like to chime into that too. Like I was considering leaving, but the only reason I would stay is because of his class. He's actually helped me more into finding my career. Like at first, I said I wanted to be an engineer last year, and he actually helped me make connections on LinkedIn. And then midway in the summer, I changed to become a pilot. And then I know this is what I want for sure, because I feel like Acosta really cares about his kids, and he just doesn't do it for the money. Because if he would do it for the money, he would obviously be way up there somewhere, not out of school.
He would be he would have a different position probably at a college somewhere.
I just feel like I just come here specifically for his cast, because it helps me benefit going further into my career versus going to another school, that just has a program and makes you do paperwork. That's not what Acosta's about here. So I feel like he does a really good job about that and promoting it online. If I was in middle school, this would kind of be my first choice if it was just for aviation.
not even just
Appreciate it.
you. Most kids are like, oh, I need a job, a high school job. Most kids are looking in high school for a job. Because like, okay, what do you want to do? Just name it. And it would be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I can't do it because I'm in high school. He goes, no, we'll find a way. And he'll connect with certain people. He'll talk to, if you want to, he'll give you a forklift certification. Like, how many kids that are still in high school can drive a forklift and get forklift certified and make more than the minimum wage, which, like, it's something that you don't see every day. You don't see a teacher trying to help out like that anymore. You see teachers trying to guide you into going to college or guide you into one specific career that they say is the best. And of course, it's not like that. Because like, what do you want to do? You want to do that? Okay, I'll make everything possible for you to do that, for you to succeed.
It's a career choice.
It's like sales. I mean, it goes back to sales. You gotta take care of your customer. These are my customers. You know what I mean? So you gotta take care of people. You gotta see what they want, not trying to sell them on something. I think that's the biggest misconception in sales and in customer service is you gotta listen first and then act after, and not approach people with an agenda. Because if you're happy, that happiness is really success. And then the money will come. Whatever it is you're doing. So.
If I can chime into what Lucas said, I've witnessed it firsthand. Acosta has actually gotten me and Valentina into a internship with Sky Harbor. So we're starting that like 2 weeks from now. So I feel like if it wasn't for Acosta, I would have never gotten that opportunity.
Gustavo definitely made that connection too. That you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Again, like Mr. Acosta was saying, the networking is so important. So I met Jose, and at that time he was working at Palm Beach International Airport at Signature, probably manager, upper level manager.
Okay.
And he's now with Shelter at Opelika. So as years go by, 5 years later, he's like the vice president at Shelter.
Relationships.
Yeah, which is he basically they own the land at Opelika and they rent it out to these companies. So one of the companies reached out to Jose like, hey, we need to start an internship program. Do you know anybody? I met Jose 5 years ago. He emails me saying, hey, do you know anybody in this area? I do. I know Nicholas Acosta. And that's how it started. So you meet someone 6 years ago that helps you out in the future. So always exchange business cards, always shake hands, and present yourself in the right manner.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's why you guys are have that internship. 6 years ago is where it started.
There you go. See, it's like that. You gotta always relationships. You gotta make sure you work with people and you keep good relationships with people. It's so important.
Also,
all these opportunities happen because of that.
For no
other reason. People take care of you, take care of them.
I mean, he finds the most bizarre, most interesting, the best people for the job always. Even with Tony Lewis, our flight instructor, he teaches the class the AS-121, the pilot program, and he's phenomenal. CFI, credentials way above my pay grade.
Oh yeah.
And he's a super amazing teacher, and like it was something that Acosta found. Like no one, like he was willing to do it, and he put it together, and it was really interesting. And he kind of gives us like a one-stop shop. We do our ground school here in school, and if we want, we could go right after and fly with him. So it's we have warranty.
Fantastic. He's a great guy, and that. Well, you got to give credit too to Mr. Gonzalez. He definitely and Ms. Perez also that put together it goes back to the alumni event last year. That's how that really happened. So it's just great ideas, people coming together. It takes a village, and people coming together to to try to help you guys, and good things happen. And then one thing happens, somebody knows somebody, and it's just we make those connections, and then good things happen. So yeah.
We'll go around the table, see if there's any other questions that haven't been asked yet.
I have a question for Acosta. What are some of the challenges of marketing for a high school aviation program?
I think I just wish I had more people to help me. I'm like a little bit behind on reels and stuff, so sometimes I'm one person. I think it's just time. I don't have enough hours in the day, But I think that great things happen here all the time. So it's just a matter of getting it out into the community, and making people aware. Because maybe imagine you were a middle school student now and you didn't know about this program because I didn't, it's important to get the message out. So that way someone like you can find this program and then it can change your life, So that's the power in that. So that's really, it's just hours in the day. But we're working on that. I wrote a workforce development grant. We're gonna try and hire more people and stuff. So we got a great thing going here, and it's just a matter of building it. So yeah. Any other question?
Yeah, going back to you with the marketing, how did you get the school to get with Embry-Riddle? Like, did it go to a process? Did it start very simple, or did it go very hard real quick?
Okay, so I'll kind of go through I'll give you a quick, overview of that process. So basically, it started with Mr. Gonzalez approaching me saying, hey, I want to start an aerospace program, aviation program. And then immediately I thought of Drew Nicholson, right, first. And then Embry-Riddle and their great program. And then that's when Drew connected me with Professor Junco. And then that's when we took off. It was meetings. We had to kind of get on the same page. I developed a curriculum. Based off of Embry-Riddle's aeronautics degree, which I have. It's my degree, and that's what my degree is in. I also compared it to Miami-Dade College, Broward College. So that way, when you guys leave this program, you guys can choose, and you're not just pigeonholed into one school. I mean, again, I'm a proud Embry-Riddle graduate. I love the school. Been up to Daytona, and I really enjoy it. But you want to make sure that you have options. So after that, it was just meeting with the region. You got to get approvals. You got to keep things under wraps, because then other schools may catch whiff of it and they want to do it. And then we put a lot of hard work into it. It's just I had to do a lot of presentations, a lot of meetings, a lot of discussions, and then and Professor Junco was instrumental in all that. You have to have both sides. It's a team. Like a lot of people give me credit, but it's a team. It takes a lot of things have to happen. A lot of good people have to come together in the interest of you guys to make this happen.
So given that this is a new program, we do have, and if you want to elaborate on it, a kind of like success story of a previous student of ours that is aspiring to be a pilot and is on her way. And if you could elaborate on that, about that student.
Yeah, Kiara Hernandez. I mean, she's a phenomenal student. She got her associate degree before she got her high school diploma, which is extremely impressive. Phenomenal student. She's at Embry-Riddle now in Daytona. In fact, she was here Monday teaching you guys about weather, stalls, and flying around the pattern. Phenomenal student. The only regret that I have with her, I wish she would have told me sooner that she wanted to be a pilot, because she told me her senior year, and I was like, I wish she would have told me sooner, but it's fine. It worked out. She's been great. She just got her private pilot license. She's at Embry-Riddle now. She's going to be a pilot, and it's just a matter of her getting through school, finishing up all her ratings, and then, wherever she wants to work, American, United, Delta, wherever, it's up to her, and then we'll make those connections. So, that it sounds easy, but it's just, you got to put in the work to make that happen. You got to, whenever you go to a networking event, you can't be shy. You got to just approach people and say hi. And it's going to be awkward, because I wasn't always like this. Like it took time. Like I was, the organization that really taught me how to network and stuff was the Greater Miami Aviation Association. Like I went there, and sometimes I would approach people and I was awkward, but like after a while you just kind of get used to it. It's like anything else, you develop that skill. You just got to work at it. You got to go, and you got to put yourself out there, because if you're always going to be shy and you're scared, then you're never going to grow. Growing hurts. I don't know, you guys are going through, you guys are becoming adults. Growing sucks. There's pain involved, but you got to do it. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the effort. So that's really, just to kind of sum this up, it's all relationships, it's all marketing, it's all networking, and you gotta, and it takes a team. It takes teamwork. So that's really, so I don't know if you want to jump in.
Yeah. Any final words from the students? And
yeah, you guys,
do you guys have any advice for any directors who want to be or want to get into the aviation program?
Professor Junco.
Other high school directors, just reach out to me, and we'll start those meetings up, and we'll figure out how we get a program at your school. And again, it's based on human resources. So what teachers at that school, and then we try to get a pathway for that school.
And another thing that we do, just something we do ourselves as teachers is, and Professor Junco's part of this, is we have a group chat. Like we have the same way we have group chats for all our stuff, for field trips and all that. We have group chats for teachers because we help each other out. Because you have limited resources in the public school setting, or in any school setting really. So you help each other out. So that's how you supplement. You give each other ideas. Like we did the paper airplane thing, right? We got these paper airplanes. That was a fun activity. You guys loved it. So I shared that video with other teachers around the state and also around the country. And then they tried at their schools and then they enjoyed it. And that's another good experience. So it's really, collaboration. So, definitely reach out to Professor Junco, and also, we'll put you in the group chat and help each other out. So you gotta work together. It takes a village, as they say, to raise children. So.
So we'll wrap it up.
So,
thanks for having me out
no,
here.
Definitely happy to do it.
Yeah, we share some good information with everybody today.
Yeah. Anything you need, we're always here to help. That's what it's all about. We're a team.
So that's a wrap.